Hello everyone and welcome to Mountain Lake Journal. I'm Tom Halley. This week, expanding broadband in rural northern New York was a priority even before the coronavirus pandemic. And even more so now, with many kids learning remotely at home and much of life as we know it moving online. But not everyone has access, especially in small rural communities in the Adirondacks. And that's what brought Congresswoman Elise Stefanik to Tupper Lake this past week to announce a $200,000 grant to help the town improve its broadband coverage. Right now, about 10% of the community has no access.
Our goal is to cover the whole town. The initial application, though, is really to put fiber to the premise in the Route 3 corridor, pretty much from the start of the town or to the end of the town. So that will be the initial part, plus wireless to the 125 or so homes that we identified that don't have it today. And we actually, employees of DANC actually rode every route in the town to determine where there was service and where there wasn't. So I think we have a pretty good count. That was an important part of this, was to be pretty sure that we weren't duplicating somebody else's efforts. So.
There is internet in the region, but a survey found residents and businesses say the connection isn't always reliable enough to meet the community's needs.
We are thrilled to get the grant. To provide that locally is a great win for Tupper Lake.
The money comes from the Northern Border Regional Commission and will lay 5.5 miles of fiber to connect the Route 3 corridor, providing access to 125 homes and businesses.
Obviously, rural broadband is more important than ever, as we have small businesses who have struggled through the challenges of COVID, as we've had local governments working to expand rural broadband, but also particularly for our schools as well.
The network will be owned by the town, but they're looking to hire a company to run it. The town says it wants to make the service affordable.
It's a bigger issue than the lack of access by probably 2 to 3 times. What we're seeing is now people have to have broadband, particularly in this environment. School students, people with health issues that don't want to have to go back in. They're wearing monitoring devices, but they can't upload the data because they don't have broadband. So we're getting a lot of these indications when we go out to look at where these people are. Probably 70 to 80% of them have broadband available and they just can't afford it. So I think that I would say it's a much bigger problem in, say 2 to 3 times the number that can't afford things than actually don't have it.
Tupper Lake has a pipeline that goes through Piercefield to Tupper Lake, and there's a family that lives right dead center in the middle of that pipeline that still has to rely on dial-up. They have 3 children in the elementary school district, and they need service. So my hope is that this plan will allow that family that I know particularly able to get good, reliable internet service in the event they have to rely on it for full-time learning. And right now, they don't have it. Dial-up, as we all know, is a very slow, antiquated, ancient system compared to today's broadband. So there's not just that family. There's many like that we are learning about as we go. So to say there's accessibility here in Tupper Lake, yes, we can all buy internet, but can we get reliable, affordable internet for our children and for healthcare and for the future economic development in Tupper Lake? So that's what we're looking forward to. And this is just the stepping stone of what's to come, hopefully, down the road.
A cheaper subscription will provide enough broadband so that customers can work from home or attend classes, but they'll have to pay more if they want to stream movies or play games.
One of the things that we can work on is identifying where these people are and having some different pricing structures. We have done similar things for school children, where they don't maybe get full access to the internet, they just get connected back to the school. But in order to, when we do that, we would do that at a much lower rate. So, if they want full internet access so they can do Netflix and all the other things they want to do, they pay the normal rate. But if they want just to be able to get to the school, they can have it at a reduced rate.
The town says it hopes a reliable connection will help to make Tupper Lake a hotspot for new businesses and people fleeing the cities.
It's perfect timing. It's absolutely perfect timing because there's so many people that were seasonal homeowners around the area in Tupper Lake. They're here now. We have neighbors where I live that came to Tupper Lake in the end of March. They've been here ever since. They're working from home. They're depending on reliable internet. I mean, Zoom call after Zoom call after Zoom call, that's how, and we've learned that we can conduct business remotely, which is wonderful. So this is just going to bring that much more business to Tupper Lake and economic development for people who will know we have good reliable internet here, we have good broadband, high-speed internet. Come to Tupper Lake, set up your business. Set your business up here and live here, work here.
As for a deadline, DANC, the Development Authority of the North Country, says it hopes to start laying fiber by next spring and be up and running by June.